Welcome to the Beach House with Mo and Steph. Come on in, pour yourself a drink, and join us out on the deck as we inspire, encourage, and empower one another to live authentic, audacious, above-only lives. It's all right here at the Beach House. Welcome to the Beach House, Mo and Steph. Hey.
Hey.
What's up,
How
girl?
you doing over there in the rainy rain?
Man. Yeah.
I'm being nice.
It's rainy rain.
You left this, but I'm not saying nothing. I'm not saying nothing.
Don't say a word.
How many years has it been?
It's a long time.
Since you escaped California?
It's a long time since I escaped California and came to the torrential winds and rain.
Has it been at least 20 years?
Yes, it has.
Oh, dang.
It's 21.
Okay,
yeah.
I'm gonna bottle some up and then
And it's been raining. It's been raining like crazy over here, and that's why my internet's all messed up, I have to assume.
Oh, okay.
Which is why I'm on my phone.
Oh. The internet don't like water, huh?
I take not.
Oh, okay.
And this is supposed to be the good one, the fiber optic one. Yeah.
Well, maybe it got wet under the ground.
Apparently, it got wet and it's all mildewed now, so it doesn't want to work. Go figure.
You know what? Maybe a lightning bolt hit it or something.
Because
you have the real weather, like lightning.
We have lightning, thunder,
and
hail.
You guys have hail
winds. We got everything.
You guys have like what is it? Hail insurance? Is that what it?
I don't even know.
Yeah, if your car gets hit and tore up, then
I think if your car gets hit and tore up, it's just toe up. I don't even think
they have it. They for real. You can see. You don't even know.
I don't even think they care. I don't think they care. It's like it happens every day.
It's like I will know when I get my car that drives me like Joffrey. And
who is calling me? Oh my gosh!
Do they not know?
Apparently,
it's podcast time.
Apparently, they didn't know.
Oh, you know why? You know why? Because can you see me now? That's why.
Can you see me now? They're like, she couldn't see it. That's why. We're gonna call because she couldn't see it.
We're gonna call.
She could not see it. So there we go.
Well, that is the name of our podcast today, everybody. We are doing a deep dive into Stephanie today.
Deep dive.
Yeah.
Okay, I was watching this channel that I watched. It's called The Blind Life with Sam. I don't know what Sam's last name is, but Sam is Sam. Hey, Sam, and from The Blind Life. So I was watching Sam, and Sam did a episode on what he sees because people always ask. Oh. And I thought about that myself, and I'm like, you know what? That is the number one question that I get. Can you see me?
Can you see me now?
What can you see? Can you see me? How many fingers do I have?
No. Oh, no. Somebody said that.
Oh, yeah. I get that all the time.
That's a punch in the throat. Yeah.
How many fingers do I have up?
That's when you do the Spock thing and you just let them and you just lay them out.
How many fingers do I not care that you have up? How about that?
Yeah. Tell them to put the fingers in front of their face and let me.
We got one finger.
Stephanie.
But anyway, yeah. I was watching that episode and I'm like, you know what? We should do an episode on that so people can get a front row glimpse into the situation. So they don't have to ask, can you see me? You can see me?
Say, go watch the podcast and tell you.
I can just give them a podcast. It's like, you want to know? There you go. Here it is.
Oh my gosh. Well, I think this is a good idea. I think this is a good idea. And
it's one of those questions that plagues my poor mommy so much.
Oh, well, yeah.
She doesn't know.
That makes sense.
It bothers her.
Oh, well, so this will help
I'm gonna do my best.
do my best to explain it.
Oh, okay. All right. Well, can we start out? Should we start out like from the beginning? Like, what is the challenge or the issue that's plaguing you?
The issue that they state is the cause is called microphthalmus, also known as microphthalmia.
Oh my.
Does that sound special?
It does.
Microphthalmus. It is spelled Microphmos.
Snap.
So you wonder where the pH came from. But if you look at the pronunciation, it's microphthalmus.
Oh, and what is that? Can you give us a definition?
Basically, that says that you have an abnormally small or undeveloped eye.
All that word means that.
I got both. I have I have a small eye and an undeveloped eye, which they say can affect vision or not. In my case, it did affect it.
You're like, hold up now.
It did affect it, indeed.
Wow. Now,
and on top of that, I have a nystagmus also, which is an involuntary rhythmic movement of the eye.
Oh.
All on its own.
Well, damn.
Going all the time.
Why is it doing that?
I don't know. It's something that has to do with either the brain or the inner ear that affects the eye movement, and it's just going all the time.
Oh, snap. Okay.
So yeah, that makes it hard. That makes it difficult to do examinations at the doctor's office.
Like, keep your eyes still. I can't.
Yeah, because it's constantly going.
Oh, wow. Okay.
Thankfully, I don't feel it though.
Now, when did as a little baby, did they tell your mom you had that?
I think they told her that from the get-go.
Like from the time you were born?
Yeah.
Oh. Well, gosh.
I think that was from the get-go or very close. Very close. But they didn't think I was going to be able to see at all.
Really?
Yeah. So
and you showed them.
That kind of developed over time. He said I was doing something and reached for a bottle. So they're like,
she can see. It's food. There's food there. There's food. Oh, wow. Okay.
Let's go with it.
Let's go with that. We'll see. At least she can see the food.
So yeah, I got to hang out with specialists from the very beginning, which was pretty cool. You know, I had some pretty top-notch rated doctors.
Wow. Did any of them write books and stuff like that?
Oh yeah. One of them, well, I had one who's I think his name was Dean Larson. That was the first one I had. And then later on I think it's when I got was just kind of getting out of high school and stuff, I got to go with Dr. Patricia Bath, and she's very, very famous.
Oh, okay.
Yeah,
she's still with us?
Like invented stuff. I think she just recently passed away, but yeah.
Huh.
Cool. Very famous Black female doctor.
Oh, we should see what book she has.
Oh yeah.
That would be cool.
Yeah. And one of the people that I saw it here, he actually trained under her. So I'm like, oh, really? Doctor, you see?
That's nice.
So yeah, I got to be seen by some pretty high profile doctors.
Oh, okay.
But you know, they didn't fix it though.
You're like, they didn't do the job. Okay.
So I don't know. Can I call them top notch? I don't know. But
well, at least they knew the big long name.
They knew something
to put over the little eye. I don't know.
They knew something, and they helped a bunch of other people.
There you go. Oh my gosh. Well, how did this affect just your life in general, because then when you started like with elementary school and all that, and kindergarten, were you already prepared? Could you visually see things? That's when it probably your mom was like, dang, she can see a lot, or she can see a little, or
Well, I think it started even before that, like preschool era, because my mom was in a nursing school and she was a registered nurse. And so I used to go to the Blind Children's Center in Los Angeles. And so I think I was like, I don't know, maybe 3 or 4 then. But yeah, they had a whole school there and just really worked with kids and doing all kinds of low vision and braille type things to kind of get you acclimated. So that's where it all started out at.
Oh, well, okay. Do
And
you know
then
Braille?
I started to learn braille and then kind of fell off of it because I could see.
Oh, well,
So
that'll do it.
yeah, so I dabbled in it, but then just kind of went to large print stuff because that was a little easier for me.
Oh,
So
wow.
never stuck with it.
Oh, okay. So move us into like elementary towards, elementary running into junior high, but elementary, that was where
Elementary, Watson.
elementary walks in. That's where you notice that you're different. That's where
Yeah.
you notice that you see things different. So how did you see then at that point?
Well,
How can you describe it?
I went through a visually handicapped program, which they had a lot of at the time. So I got bused to a different school and where they had like a program for that. And so I don't know, to me, because I was born that way, I knew something was different, but it hadn't really clicked in. It wasn't until being in classroom settings and stuff when they're talking about writing on the board and everything, and it's like I don't see that. But it's like other than that, you wouldn't know because you just assume everybody sees the way you see. So
That makes sense.
It's hard to explain. I couldn't see it all out of my right eye because that was the complete undeveloped eye. It just barely developed. So I can't see out of that at all. And I noticed, with doctors and stuff, they would always try to find out if there was any vision there. So they would ask can you see always shining light? Can you see this light and everything? I couldn't see anything. It was like there was not like a shadow or anything. It was just like nothing.
Wow.
And so, you think about like when you close your eyes, it looks black. But I don't even think that is the case because there's just like nothing there. It's like it's not even there at all.
Interesting.
I think that's the way I perceive it. It's like it's not even there at all.
Wow. So the peripheral on that side is not even.
Yeah, I just go from the left eye, that's the smaller eye, because the right eye, to me, it's like it doesn't even exist.
Oh, okay.
So
you never told me that.
There's nothing there.
Oh, dang. Okay, so there's another question for later.
People that I knew.
I'm like, Taekwondo, black belt, left side. Wait a minute.
Yeah, other people that I knew, they would say, oh, I have light perception. And I'm like, well, what is that? You could see shadows, or you could tell if you were outside, or you could tell if you entered a room and there was light there. I'm like, oh, I don't have that. It's just, there's nothing. It's not dark. It's just nothing.
That's interesting.
So in my mind, it's like, it's not there.
Yeah. To your brain, it's not there.
To my brain, yeah.
It's like you said, it's not developed. So
there was nothing there
not even
to remember.
Yeah.
So it's just nothing. It's a vast nothingness.
Nothingness. Okay, so now the other eye, how do you see out of that eye? Like at that point, when you were little Steffi.
Little Steffi. Well, I know they all, they always put things in numbers. And so, you have the little eye chart and everything. I could always see the E.
Oh, the biggie?
I could always see the big E.
That's it?
Yeah, that was it.
Oh, damn.
Now, underneath, Monique's like, I never knew. Now, underneath it, underneath it, I could see that there were black marks that got smaller, but I couldn't tell what any of those were. But I could make out the E.
Oh.
And so they put that under a line of, I think they said at that time I had 2400 vision. We normally have 20/20. That's perfect vision or whatever. So I had 2400 vision. So what that was supposed to mean was that what you could see at 400 feet away, I'd have to be 20 feet away to see the same thing.
20 feet?
Yeah. So what you can see across the way,
all the way down there,
I'd have to be 20 feet up on it to see it.
Okay, we can't put you in the military because you can't. You can't be no sharpshooter.
I can be a sharpshooter. That's the thing. Because when I go shooting, all my little dots are like right there. Boom. Right in the head, right in the heart. Pow, pow, pow,
now, is that because you're looking through a scope?
Nah. That's just because I know where it's at and I got good aim.
That's crazy. That's crazy. We gotta talk about that. We gotta talk about when you threw
so many. I don't know. There was
the
so
hatchet.
Many hacks. The hatchet thing. There are so many hacks that I have learned along the way, which gave the appearance that I could see stuff, but I couldn't really. I just had a hack for it, or just a remembrance for it. If I saw it up close, then I could go back at a distance and remember it. And so I would just aim for the same spot. Like if I was out on the playground, playing basketball, you go out and you stand in front of the hoop. Okay, there's the hoop. I can see the hoop. Now I'm going back to the line. So if I remember where that hoop is, if I aim at that spot, I'll get that basket every time. So everybody's like, oh, she can see me playing basketball. No. No, I just
thank you.
I just know where the hoop is. So
what's the trip? It's like it makes it that all the distractions get cleared out.
Yeah.
You only have the focus, and then your brain clicks in, and that's where we go right there. That's it.
Exactly. So it's like everything that I did, it's like I kind of map it out, and then I go from that point. Like, spotting things. I used to, if I got a glimpse of it, and then I could if it looked similar to it, then I would assume that was it. Like I know, okay, what the McDonald's golden arch used to look like.
Right.
So if I was anywhere driving in a car with somebody and I saw something yellow with an arch, oh, there's a McDonald's.
Okay.
That did not necessarily mean that I saw the arch. I saw
or the words
that looked like it. So I put it together. It's like, oh, there's a McDonald's, because that's what that symbol looks like.
That's killer, because I always wondered why you were the best direction giver person for me, because I'm a very visual person. So I go by what's around me. That's how I remember things. And that's how you see things. So then you're like, okay, Monique, at the corner, you're going to see or whatever.
Exactly.
And then that's where you want to turn. That's what you call a street. And then down this. And then I would remember the clues, basically.
The blues clues.
And I'm like, this chick with her directions is dead on.
Yeah, that was the thing that always got people. Like, literally, when I was in kindergarten, we had the same bus route that we took to school. And so we had like one of those parent nights, and I guided my mom to the school. And she's like, I'm like, no, you turn up here, Mom. You turn up here. And I'm like sitting in the seat. I can't even see over the dashboard, but I'm telling her where to turn. And she's like, I'm the idiot. I'm following her, but she got me there.
Dang.
So I was always very good with directions because I always noted all of the landmarks.
Yeah. And you
And
know
so
what too?
if it looked like that was what it was, then I'm like, okay, that's most likely what it was. And usually, 90% of the time I'm on it.
And I remember something as a kid. And if you people are ever just think about this, like when you're in the car and you're with your parents or whatever, and you fall asleep in the car, and then you're driving home, your body automatically knows kind of when you're getting close to the house. Yeah. And
it's like that on the bus too. It's like you fall asleep, but it's like as soon as you're about to get to your stop, you just automatically wake up.
Yes. 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 And I hated that point because I was like, oh, because you want your parents to carry you into the house. So you're like, oh, that's the turn. Oh, okay, that's my street. Oh, we're here. I gotta wake up or whatever. Yeah. The brain, dude. The brain.
The brain is amazing. The brain is amazing, which is why we can always reroute it.
Yeah. Ooh.
So yeah, in school, I always used like large print stuff. And then they came out with those visual text, those
magnifier thing you had.
CCTVs, and like you just put the little book underneath it, and then you could see it on the screen. So
I remember you had that in your room.
I started using that. I have one now.
Oh, okay. Now, but do you change the pages? Do you look at the black letters or do you change the letters to white letters and the background black? What's better for you?
That's the thing. I used to use the white background with the black letters because that's what I was used to. Now, since I've had that decline, I like the invert better.
Oh, okay.
There's a reason for that.
What's the reason? Are we not at that point?
I guess we're not there yet.
Oh, we're not. Okay.
We're not there yet. There's a reason for that though.
Okay. So now that so all of the equipment that went with elementary school and junior high, how do you get that? Like, how do you get the equipment and how do they know what you need? And how do you know what you need? And because you're little, you're like, okay, I need this. I mean,
yeah, you don't know.
Yeah.
So, like I said, with the school system that I was in, they had a visually impaired program. So they already had like with the LDH program, we had to go to this one classroom and we do our work and stuff in there and whatever, and then go back to the classroom. So in that classroom, they had all kinds of equipment. So you had opportunity to like try different things out. And then plus that, when you're dealing with a visual impairment like that, anytime you go to a doctor, you're assigned also a low vision doctor. So you're going into the office and you're trying stuff all the time.
Oh, that's smart. And we are the Tri-Me State, California's Tri-Me State.
The Tri-Me State. So
you're constantly trying stuff.
Mm-hmm. That's a good idea. So let me take us over here.
Ooh, take us
to my
going on an adventure.
Setup. Can you see the setup here?
I can.
I have my computer, my MacBook. I have a large screen for it. But this is the CCTV. So boom, 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 boom.
Wait, is that the thing that you used to have?
No, this is a different one. So so normally that's like a regular, the regular thing on there. Regular thing. So
look how cool it looks now.
I know it
didn't look like that before, people.
So if I had a book,
hey, that's the book that we got. Okay,
that's the book you got. So you can take that. Trying to hold it. You can take that and you can blow it up as big as you want. Basically, bow, 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 bow.
Yeah.
blow it up as big as you want. But I like to use it now on the invert.
Yeah. See, I would do that. That just feels better.
It's a lot calmer on my eye.
Yeah, this makes sense.
Yeah, so it's a lot calmer on the eye.
I would do it just because it looks cool.
You do because it looks cool.
Yeah.
So,
I put all my stuff on that.
So yeah, we had stuff like that. We had handheld magnifiers. I mean, that was easier for, if you're reading a book or if you're trying to write or something, because you could do it all under there and see what you're doing.
Mm-hmm.
And then, we had the little monocular things that was big at the time. Looks like a little scope that you stare through. And that was a game changer at first for me because that was the first thing that allowed me to see distance. And that was the first thing that let me know how bad my vision really was.
For real? I remember when you got that, dude. It was like, what? Because you would use it at the movies.
Exactly. I used it everywhere because it's like, when you don't know, you don't know. So if you're used to doing things the way you do them, you have no clue that there's another way. When I got that first monocular and I could see distance, I was like, oh my gosh, I am blind. You can see that. No.
Yeah. Wow.
I see the signals. I see the leads. I see I can see people across the street. I can see everything. I can see stuff. I can see the menu, whatever,
Oh,
when you're at a restaurant, it was opened up a whole new world because I'm like, oh my gosh, I couldn't see any of this. And so I think that was I don't know, maybe 7th grade or so, maybe junior high, that I got my first monocular, and it's like the world just opened up because it's like, oh my gosh, I can't see.
Dang. Now, as you got older,
the first time it hit me.
As you got older to the junior high part, did your vision start getting worse, or did it just stabilize?
No,
it's like a stabilized age that you get where this is it. You just kind of stable.
I don't know. I have no clue what the what the prognosis was supposed to be, because I wasn't supposed to see it all. But I was very grateful. As I got older, I recognized that my vision didn't change. So it stayed the same from elementary school all the way through adulthood. It didn't really begin, not that I could notice significantly anyway. It didn't really note it until a few years ago. But it was stable that whole time and just flatlined right there. So everything was pretty much the same.
So so like you said, adulthood. So we're moving into adulthood now. Okay, wait.
Well,
because there was some stuff you said when John passed away, and that was the big thing was when you really noticed was when you went to the grocery store, and how when you walked down the aisles and stuff, you weren't realizing that John could just grab it and get it or whatever. You knew the aisle and everything, but then you're just dude, I went to the grocery store, and you were in tears because you're like, I have to look at each thing on the row. And I'm like, that is too overwhelming.
And I think that was when I started to recognize that things had changed, and I didn't really realize it because it was kind of gradual.
Yeah.
Because, before I could go into the store, and again, once I got a picture of something, then I can pretty much hack it the rest of the way. So if I know where something is, if I know what it looks like, I could spot it. I may not have seen it, but I could spot it. So, if I know what a box of Fruit Loops looks like, if I'm walking down a cereal aisle, I can spot it because I know what it looks like.
Right.
So it's like, oh, there's a red box and, it's got some colors on it. That's Fruit Loops. oh, there's a green box and it's got some little pink thingies on it. That's some Apple Jacks.
Apple Jacks.
So it's like I knew what colors things were. And so I could always get a gauge from that. And it's like be in that 70 percentile range of figuring it out.
Yeah, well, I'm blown because this is the first time we've ever talked about colors.
Yeah.
I didn't know you saw colors. I thought you saw like because one time I asked you when we were younger and I said, how do you like what do you see? How do you see?
Did you
Can you see? No, I didn't ever say that. I was like, what do you see?
What do
right?
you see?
And you said that you saw like when I would look when we took pictures back in the day and we had film and then and in the pictures when we got our pictures back you had that little like I don't even know what it's called that you could put up to the sun and then you could kind of see the outline of what the picture was.
Yeah.
What was that thing called?
Like the little Polaroids.
Yeah, well, we had our normal pictures, but I guess it was just the film itself. And you said that's how I see
the little negative or whatever.
The negative, that's it. And so I'm thinking, okay, then she doesn't see colors. Because for me,
I can
when
see
we
colors.
look through that's black and white pretty much. And you can kind of see color a little bit. It's like kind of blurry. But I didn't know you could see colors.
Yeah.
Tell us.
What I didn't get, like I could see things, but I didn't have the details. When we would go to like games and stuff, I could see the people running back and forth, but the details of them is what was missing. So, I heard the ball dribbling, bouncing on the ground. I could see the people running, but as far as hand movements, going back and forth, or elbows being thrown and all that stuff, all that was like washed out.
Yeah. And because you never saw it, it didn't bug you.
It was always just the big picture, but all of the details were gone. If that makes any sense.
It does. That's why I put my glasses on, because it pisses me off with
details.
With age,
out.
That's what's because with age, it does that. So then you're like, okay, I got to put my glasses on because I'm used to seeing detail.
Right.
So then when I can't see it, I'm like, oh, hell no. Right.
So when you're never used to seeing detail,
it
doesn't bother you as much. You're just like, oh, yeah. It
That's
wasn't
normal.
until I got the monocular that I saw the details of the stuff.
Oh, okay.
So
okay.
I'd be watching the games through my monoculars so I could see the details. Otherwise, I'm just watching these figures running back and forth.
Oh, okay. Oh, see, I'm learning so much.
She's like, somebody for 40 some odd years.
Well, now you can explain it. You know what I mean?
Like, as a kid, you can't really put it into words because you don't know.
No.
You don't know yourself. So
right. Interesting. Okay. Interesting. Now let's move into
looking at people. That's one of the things that people always ask me, well, can you see me? I can see you, but the details of you were not there. So like, I see your face, I see brown hair or blonde hair or whatever. I can see your nose, but I can't see the thingies in the nose or the type of nose you have. I can see you have eyebrows, but I can see you have eyes, but I don't know what color they are or how the shape of them are. People say, oh, I looked into his eyes and they were just so beautiful and brown and
dreamy
gold and
nah.
I can see that you have some eyes, but what they look like, I don't know. I can see that you had brown skin or whatever color skin, but I could never tell if you had acne or if you had freckles or if you had wrinkles or, any of that.
Yeah.
So it's like the main thing was there, but all the details were washed away. Unless I get closer.
Okay. So hence meaning why you weren't allowed to drive.
Right.
Because the only reason I'm asking that.
I can see the road. I'm like, what's the problem? I can see the road, but don't let a little dog cross
Oh,
the street.
well, there you go. There you go. Fluffy gone. That's it.
Yeah, to me, it was like, I don't understand why I can't drive. I can see the car in front of me, but it's like I couldn't see when the car was stepping on its brakes.
Right. So you wouldn't have the reaction
I wouldn't have that reaction time. It would
thing.
be,
Right.
it would be too slow. By the
Yeah.
time I saw the lights come on, I would have already been on it
See, and driving is all day that.
all day.
Reactive driving the whole time. That's what you're reacting to everything around you like
Right.
that.
I always said, if everybody followed the rules, I'd be fine.
Yeah. If the cars were on a track like Disneyland.
If we just drove and everybody followed the rules, I would be fine. But it would have been that unexpected thing that would have messed me up.
Yeah. And that's constant. That's
constant. And I didn't get that at the time.
Yeah.
All I saw was, you're keeping me from my dream.
Right. Just let me behind the wheel.
I can see to drive, but it's like it wasn't me, it was the other people.
With that being said, you have another friend that is legally blind, right?
Yep.
And she drives.
Yeah.
So what's the difference in the vision that she can drive? And
I think the limit, I do believe that the limit for driving is 2,200. 2,200. So whatever you saw at 200 feet, they'd have to be 20 feet away. So if you have 2,200 vision, I do believe you are able to drive. And
I ain't saying nothing.
I know some people who drive with a bioptic. So the bioptic is like the monocular. It's a little tiny scope, but it actually sits on some glasses. So you wear the glasses with your prescription in it or whatever, and then you've got this bioptic that sits on there that you're only supposed to use for spotting things like street signs and, things like that if you're trying to find directions or something.
Yeah.
But I know a lot of people that use that to actually drive with. This is probably not the best idea, but they got past the system. So and the thing about it is like when I actually had a pair of those bioptics and I thought, well, hey, now I can drive because I wanted to do anything to drive. Because that was my idea of independence. So I got one of those. And the thing that got me off of that is when I had Nicholas. Because I'm like, I can't put my child's life in this little scope.
Yeah.
If I can't see beyond that scope, that's not safe for him. So I didn't do it.
I cannot wait till you get in. Okay. I'm so excited for when you get the car to drive, because that's what the car does is my car reacts for me. I mean, even though nothing's wrong, but that's what they're putting in the cars now and stuff.
Right.
But it's just like, oh my God, I can't wait.
AI driver.
I can't wait. Okay. Woo! Okay.
Still waiting for them to get those kinks out, though.
They're getting them out. I'm telling you.
Sometimes it doesn't quite react.
What color do you want? That's all I gotta say. What color car do you want, Steph?
I know. Can I get it in my Mercedes SL 600 convertible?
Sure.
Can I do it in that?
Yes, because Mercedes isn't gonna let everybody else have it, and they don't.
I love that car. I love that car.
Okay, I can't wait to ride. Okay, so adulthood. What is going on now, girl? Tell us.
What is going on? I'm living my life, I'm living my life. I'm doing my thing because in my teen years and elementary years, well, okay, we got to go back because I always had that adventure spirit. And so I'm going to try anything, right? So
I had to a lot.
Like riding, skating, whatever it is, sports. I was going to be doing it.
Like I said in another podcast, I did not see you as blind, visually impaired, anything. Because, like, let's go to the skating rink. We lived at the skating rink,
Right.
and they turn out the lights.
I'm like, yeah, that always threw me off. That always threw me off when they turned off the lights. I'm like, damn, they turned off the lights. I was doing so good. But then it's just like, okay, you got to focus and watch for people. Watch for people.
Oh, wow. Wow.
And you got to be good. See, that's the thing. I had to be good because when some little kid fell right in front of me, I had to be able to adjust and either, hop over them or, go.
Yes.
So I always had to make sure that I was good at stuff. So if something popped up, I could do the adjustment.
And that's the trip, because skating, I always say this because we skated so much, that skating to me is like driving on the freeway. It's the same. Yeah, it's the same.
What's gonna happen?
Yeah, it's the same reactive skills. It's the same looking way ahead of yourself to adjust.
When you see somebody go like this, you're like, oh crap, they gonna go down. They're gonna go down. Let me be ready. So
yeah.
So I can imagine
all those same skills.
I can imagine that's the same thing when you're driving. It's like you see them weaving. It's like, oh, okay, something's about to go down.
Yes.
So
wow.
Bike riding, and it's like, with my family, they didn't know what I could do or whatever. So I always had to figure it out first and then go show them. And then they were like supportive. So like with riding a bike, we had bikes at school, and then we had like a separate recess. So we had the whole, playground to ourselves. So I learned how to ride a bike out there, learned how to ride a two-wheeler because we had all that space to ride around in. So, I asked my mom, hey, can I get a 10-speed? And she's like, oh no, I don't know about that, But then
come on, Mom.
We went over to one of her friend's house, and her kid had a bike, and they were inside talking. What was I out doing? Riding their bike.
Scoping that bike.
Riding their bike. Because it's like, other kids, they don't know anything. So if you ask them, can I ride your bike? They're like, sure. They're not thinking, oh no, I don't think that's a good idea. You might kill yourself. No. They're like,
I don't want to do that.
No. Ride it, sure, you can ride it. So, I was out there riding the bike, and she came outside and she saw me. And she's like, oh my gosh, you can ride a bike. And I'm like, yeah, can I have one now?
Oh, she was probably like way excited.
Yeah. And it's like, we went and got a bike.
That day, huh?
we went and got a bike because it's like, she can do it, with the skate. I'm going to the skating rink. Look, watch me skate. Can I have some skates? Yeah. Let's go get some skates. The funny part was when I said, can I get a Letterman's jacket? And she said, oh yeah.
That was our dream, dog.
Like, you worked hard. If you let her, you can get a Letterman's jacket. So I'm like,
she was like, she ain't gonna get a Letterman's jacket. Like, yes, we are.
Here it is. And it's like $150 a letter plus $175 for the jacket. And I want Ms. Arterberry on my jacket.
Yep. I have Ms. McAllister.
Look at that. They're calling me again. Get up. So yeah.
You know what? When it does it, it doesn't show up on the thing.
Well, that's good. So yeah. Ms. What was there, like 9 or 10 letters in Arterberry plus the Ms. with the period?
Yes.
So yeah, that got kind of fun after a while. But
hey, that was on our goal sheet.
Yeah,
for us
so
to
by
do.
the time I got to college and stuff, I was doing track in college and everything, and just whatever I wanted to do.
Yeah. Oh yes. Okay. High school. And yes, ladies and gentlemen, yes, she did. She did javelin. No, what the hell?
That was crazy. That was crazy. Yeah, I have to look back now because not only did I do javelin, but I did discus, right? So
yes.
Because I wanted to do other sports, and my vision wasn't good enough for them, so I had to go with track. I didn't like to run. I hated running.
I know.
So it's like I tried it for a little while because that was the thing. That was the thing you did. You ran. Okay, I ran, but I saw the field event people chilling out by the discus ring, eating some In-N-Out. And I'm like, that's what I want to do, right?
Can I let her eat some In-N-Out?
They go work out in the weight room while these fools are out here running and passing out in the heat. They're in the weight room and they're sitting up here eating In-N-Out. That's what I want to do. So I go out there and it's like I'm like 104 pounds wet. And I throw shot put and disc. But it's like, hey, they let me do it. And so, we're out there throwing our discs and, I was out there and we had to go get our own. And I'm like, that was a piece of work trying to find it. So, but yet, while you're out there finding your disc, you got to watch out because other people are throwing
their disc. Yep.
And, somebody actually got hit with one of those things. That stuff will kill you. It's a giant steel plate flying through the air.
Yes.
But I'm out there doing like everybody else, getting my disc. And it's like, it was crazy because I could hear them dropping around me.
You're like, okay, that was by my foot.
That one was close. Ooh, that was real close.
That was real close.
And, they'd be like, heads up. And I'm like which
where?
direction? It's like, nobody knew how that I couldn't see, I don't think.
I was over there with you for a while. And then Coach saw me. And he's like, okay,
get back over there.
So what are you doing? And so I'm like, okay, can I do at least one of the things? So he let me do the disc and a shot put. But he's like, okay, if you do this, you're still going to have to do the hurdles. You're still going to have to do the 100. You're still going to have to do what is happening?
I was going to do the hurdles, but my mom said, if I catch you out there on the hurdles, I'm going to sue that school. I'm like, I believed her. So I'm like, I can't hurdle.
Yeah, that was my event. So that was it.
I can't hurdle. But it's
you can't hurdle, Steph. I'm sorry.
But she let me go out there and throw a stick.
She didn't know. She didn't know.
And I had to go out there and get that too while other people were throwing their stick out.
Well, damn. And you went to state.
I think I would have been safer on the hurdles, honestly. It's like at least if I fell, it's like it was on me. I didn't get speared by some javelin.
Well, you know what? You might have been really awesome because it's timing. And if you would have kept the timing the whole time.
And I had the timing, but
you're perfect.
No. But I went out there.
I could have showed you.
I had the timing. I was good at it.
I could have coached you like my dad was coaching me in my backyard. He made me a hurdle in the backyard. He's like, okay, Pumpkin, let's get on this.
I had my steps. I had my steps and everything. Yeah. I knew when to jump, but oh no, I went out and did disc and javelin. Go figure.
You were a gladiator.
I was. Gladiators, forward!
That was. Oh shoot! And then you did it in college too.
So yep, did it in college too.
Wow.
Went to state, went to CIFs.
And I was over there sweating my butt off, running some stinking hurdles.
I'm like, oh, weak.
That's okay, because we both went to CIF together, so that was good.
Yeah, but it was important to me to be like everybody else. So, I didn't want a lot of people to know I couldn't see. So I just, I overcompensated and just worked harder to be better.
Yeah.
Because I didn't want people to know.
This is okay. People don't know this. Okay. So Stephanie may not have been able to see well and compensated for whatever. Okay. But when it came to the cute guys, this chick has the most bionic smelling nose on the planet. And she's like, oh, so-and-so is coming. I'm like, what? She's like, yeah, he's coming. He's right around the corner. I'm like, get out of here. and she could smell their cologne.
Oh yeah.
And I couldn't smell it. I couldn't smell anything. And you knew, I mean, they could be down the hall.
Oh yeah.
And you knew.
I knew where they were at. I know who wore what.
I was like, how do you do that? That's like a superpower.
It was a superpower. I'm like, oh, so and so is coming, Moni. She's like, oh, I mean,
Like
just get ready.
Get ready. Okay, get ready.
Just have the pose. Have the pose ready.
Every freaking time. That would blow my mind.
On the money though, right?
It was every time. Wow. I guess when they say you don't have one sense, you get the other ones get stronger.
Exactly.
Oh my gosh. Wow.
It was fun stuff though.
So, but, okay, where are you now? And I know that you were saying you were having some challenges with like cataracts or something like that, and how that's affecting your vision now. You've always had it, but it's progressing.
Yeah, it was always there. Always growing up, my doctor said that I had one, but it was very, very tiny. And so, as I got through adulthood and had my kids and everything, I'm just rolling right along with them and rolling right along with John. And the thing about, I think part of the thing with, with my vision in adulthood is that, I met John in college and we had like such a solid system, and it's like I didn't even recognize the system that we had because it's like he already knew intuitively before I did stuff to, maneuver stuff.
Yes.
And so like anywhere we were walking or whatever, he'd already have the path laid out before, anything became a problem. And it's like, it was seamless. And, he was rotten too.
What do you mean? What? Well, what?
I think there was like so many, sometimes, just for the heck of it, he'd walk me through some sprinklers.
John, what? And I know you got him back, but I don't know how.
Yeah, there's this one time we were in the we were in a department store. And we were looking for something, and I'm like, oh, let me ask. Excuse me, sir.
No, don't say it.
I'm like, excuse me, sir. Can you tell me where this is? And he's like, I don't think Ed McMahon is gonna answer.
It was like a billboard thingy.
One of those cutouts, one of those like life-size cutouts of Ed McMahon.
No.
He's like, I don't think Ed McMahon is gonna answer.
Thanks, John. You just let me walk up to the Ed McMahon and do this.
Yeah, he was right. And the best one, this was a good one. We had when we had the kids, we had this minivan, and so we had this like wintergreen minivan, and we went to go to the store, and so I went in and I did whatever I needed to do, and when I came out, I went to the van and I pulled on the handle to get in, but I looked up and there was like this person in the van. And they're looking at me like, what are you doing? Why is she pulling on the handle? And I'm like,
oh no.
And he's like, step him over here. This fool moved the van. But what he didn't know was that the same van was going to pull it to the spot.
Oh my God. See?
So I'm up here pulling on the handle, trying to get in there, and this woman in there is looking terrified, like this black woman is going to attack me.
Oh snap! He's about to steal my Cheerios.
Like, oh my gosh! He's like, "Stop! I'm over here!" And he's like, "I did not know that was going to happen."
You're like, "Don't worry, I'm gonna get you back." It's coming.
Oh yeah, we were.
Yeah.
That was like the crux of our marriage. We were always, one upping each other. But that was his best one.
That's that's what.
That was his very
As
best
long as
one.
you got him back, I'm
Oh
good.
yeah, oh yeah, I got him.
Okay. Okay.
But
That's
yeah,
all that matters.
so yeah, that was how we spent our 32 years, 28 married together, just doing stupid, crazy stuff. And then he'd get these ideas like, hey, Steph, I want to go do martial arts. Come to the class with me. And I'm like, okay, I'll
Okay.
go. I'll go. And it's like, then I get into class and the competitive nature takes over. And next thing you know, we're getting black belts. And then he'd be
Dang.
like, hey, Steph, I want to go shooting. Let's go to this range. I'm like, okay. So we go there, and next thing you know, I'm getting bullseyes.
And he's feeling molded.
Shooting handguns. Yeah, it was funny because we would always do these things, but I was always better than him.
Well, like you said, repetition, like
I was always better than him, and it's like he would just get the biggest kick out of that because he's like, "Oh my gosh, look at my Steffi." So, we'd go out and we'd do tournaments and stuff with the martial arts, and I'd place and he wouldn't.
Oh,
And
dang.
it's like, we'd go to the gun range and we'd be shooting, 9mm, 45s, rifles, the big assault rifles and stuff. And I'd be
Hey,
like,
girl.
every time getting the bullseyes. And he's like, man, I don't know how she does it, but she's amazing.
And when he passed away, you went with the kids to do what was it, the axes, where you throw the axes in.
Yeah, we did that for Noah's birthday, I think it was. And it's like, I'd never gone axe throwing before, but the guy said, this is how you do it. So I'm like, all right. He said to do this, 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 this. And I'm like, and bam, right in the middle. I'm like,
Wow.
and the thing about it is, I couldn't even see the target
at all at that point.
I could see the board, but I couldn't see, the areas, in the little circles and all that stuff around it. So I just did what they told me to do. So I've gotten very good at following directions and
you think
and just, doing the stuff.
Wow.
So, when he passed, it was just a huge wake up call of the system that we had built together over all those years, because I'm like, oh my gosh, I don't know what is going on here. And I think by then I was starting to have like a little decline, in my vision, but it was so gradual at that time, I didn't really recognize it. So I'm like, when I went to the store, when I called you in tears, I'm like, I don't know how to do this, because it's like I'm walking down the aisles and it's like I'm not seeing stuff. I'm not seeing stuff like I used to, and it's like I'm having trouble finding things. And it's like I'm still doing it, but it's taking me longer now. It's taking me longer, and I'm like, what is going on? So
he didn't realize that it was his eyes.
Yeah, it's like we go in with the list, and I'm like, here's what we need, and and he's finding it, and I'm no, we don't need that one. We need this one, and he's getting it down. I'm like, no, this is the wrong one. We need that one, and
wow.
But it's like there was such a partnership there in doing things, and it's like, right after he passed, Noah went into his thing in the hospital, and I'm like, oh my gosh, how am I going to do all this stuff?
Yeah.
And it's just like, I don't know what to do. And I'm like, but girl, you better figure it out quick.
Oh my goodness.
You best to figure it out quick.
Wow.
And then, I don't know, I think it was about maybe, I'm going to say 3 years ago that I started recognizing, I'm like, is this seem foggy? They seem a little foggy. And so I was thinking, well, maybe I'm just, I'm on the computer now, because, I'm doing all this work on the computer now. So maybe I'm just straining my eye too much. So I go in and I, get some little blue light glasses and all that stuff, because the thing about it with glasses, nothing ever helped my vision, because people would always ask me, how come you don't wear glasses? And it's like, I don't wear glasses because they don't do anything.
Wow, that makes sense though.
Yeah. It's like when I was younger, I wore glasses, but it was for protection in
Yeah.
case, a branch was hanging or something like that. And so I wore them for protection purposes, but I couldn't see any better. And so with the glasses, it might sharpen the picture just a hair, but it doesn't improve it in any way. So I'm like, I don't want to wear glasses.
Yeah. And in the natural thing of computers, like, because I noticed when I, went to work at home on computers, it like sucks your eye juices. I don't know what it does,
Yeah, it's
but
a strain.
yeah, it strains so hard. And that's when I started wearing glasses. I had glasses just for like when your eyes get really, really tired, which never would happen because I was a chef with and then but when I went computers, it was just like, oh my God, I need to use those glasses because my head hurts. So I can't
Yeah,
even imagine you're already dealing with this.
that on a continual basis.
Yeah, and then boom, this hit too. And that's how we communicate, now is computers.
Yep. It's
So
like everything was a strain. So, I got the little blue light glasses to kind of help out with
mhm.
because I figured, well, maybe that's it. And then I started thinking, because when I had my kids, I homeschooled them K through 12, and everything was wrapped around my family. So because my vision never changed, and that may not have been a great thing to do, but I didn't go to any doctors because to
Oh,
me, like if it ain't broke, don't mess with it.
yeah.
So I didn't go to the doctors. I wasn't going regularly because nothing was wrong. Nothing had changed. For years, everything was the same. So I didn't even bother with it. So when I started to feel like, something's a little off,
Mhm.
I had to go find a doctor. And I had to find an ophthalmologist because optometrists, they're just surface level.
Oh, okay.
So it's like I can't, I don't go to optometrists because that's just surface. Oh, hey, you need glasses, blah blah blah. Now
Oh,
I have to go to specialists because they have to get in behind and all through the eye, and
yeah.
they're used to working with diseases and all that stuff. So I'm here in another state, and I'm like, I have to find a specialist, and I don't even know where to begin.
Oh, yeah, because you moved.
Right. So I hadn't really been to the doctor since I moved out here to Texas. So I had to like start at ground zero and just start looking at reviews of different people. And so, I found this one guy that I saw had actually studied under my doctor at UCLA. And so I'm like, okay, well, let me start there. So I went to him and he said, okay, I can't really help you because this is not my specialty. So let
Mm,
me refer you over to here. And so I
mm.
did that like 3 times before I got to somebody that, was supposed to actually know my condition.
Wow. And there was something I remember you telling me because when you got married, you had assistance like insurance or something. What was it, SSI or something like that? What was it? And you said
Mm-hmm.
when you got married, they cut it. Like you're
Yeah.
married now. Like all of a
Yeah.
sudden you're married and you
Because
don't
I
need
had Medi-Cal.
insurance.
Yeah. I had Medi-Cal with my SSI, and, you get married and they cut it. It's like, oh, you have money. So that's a whole
But I
different
still
thing.
can't see. What
Yeah,
the
that's a whole different thing too. It's like, but my marriage didn't change my vision. It's still
right.
the same.
Oh my goodness.
So yeah, that's a whole other thing.
Wow.
But
That
yeah,
makes no sense.
I found somebody. So I started I started getting checked over that and went to a couple of different specialists and ended up with a glaucoma specialist because they said, okay, this is what's going on now. Because I'd be riding down and the with the whoever in the car, and I'm like, this just look kind of bumpy and they don't look the same. They don't look as clear.
Mm-hmm.
And that just kind of went on and went on. And I'm like, no, something's not right. Something's not right. And so when I got into there, I guess my pressure was really high. I guess your pressure is supposed to be between like 10 and 20 or whatever. And mine was like 37.
Eye pressure? That has nothing to do with blood pressure, right?
No, this is just the pressure in your eye.
In your eye. Oh.
And that pressure is what causes your eye to go blind more.
What?
Yeah, and it's like I was asking a friend of mine because he had kind of gone through the same thing, but by the time he went in, his pressure was, I think he said, in the 60s. And
oh my God.
Hey. So I had got in there and she's like, I want you to start taking these drops. And I'm like, okay, well, how long do I have to take them? And she's like, yeah, forever. And I'm like, what?
What do the drops do?
They're supposed to keep your pressure. Yeah, they're supposed to keep your pressure normalized. So I'm like, okay. So I'm like, okay, I guess I have to take these drops. And so she ended up having me do this laser procedure that was supposed to, the laser was supposed to, put some holes in your ocular nerves so that blood can flow more easily because I have a small eye, all of my tubing is smaller, which can easily get clogged up and cause your pressure to rise.
Oh my God.
So the gist was to poke some holes in it to make it flow freer. So I go and I do this procedure and she said, you'll probably have a little trouble seeing for, about an hour or whatever. So I'm like, or half an hour to an hour. So I'm like, okay. And so I leave there and I go home and everything. And I'm like, it's still pretty blurry and everything. And so when I get up in the next morning, I could barely see anything.
What?
And so I'm freaking out. But I'm like, okay, I can't freak out.
I can't freak out.
I'm thinking I can't freak out because that will make my pressure rise. Because I'm like, if I start crying, because that's the first thing I want to do is just start crying. And I'm like, oh my gosh, if I do that, it's going to make my pressure rise. So I'm like, okay, you got to get it together. You got to get it together. And it's like, I'm holding my hand up and I can't see my hand. And I'm like,
what?
Oh no. And the first thing, me being me, that I think of is, how am I going to dye my hair?
What? I can't see my hand. I'm going to dye my hair.
Literally the first thought that comes to my head. How am I going to dye my hair? How am I going to put on my makeup? Second thought is, what if I get stuck with an ugly man?
I would tell you, girl, but I got you. Like, let's exit stage left.
It's like, most people would be concerned about how am I going to cook? How am I going
to see?
How am I going to live? How am I going? And my thought is totally vain. How am I going to do my hair and makeup? And how am I going to find a good-looking man? So yeah, we know where I'm at.
But she's like, I'm being honest. I'm telling you, this is what I thought about.
That was where I was at. I was terrified, and I'm like, I can't cry. I can't cry. I can't cry.
Oh my gosh. No, really, but the crying, I would think that would like reduce the pressure. No. But I guess not.
No, you notice like whenever you have a really good cry, your eye gets all swollen and puffy.
Yeah.
And you just like you feel like you got hit in the face.
Wow. Yeah. Interesting.
So it's like, no. So I knew enough to know that's not what I want to do at this time. So I called the doctor and, I ended up going back in there and she's like, it should dissipate, but because of your eye being the way it is, everything takes longer to heal. So I'm like, okay.
You're like, why didn't you tell me that? in the first place.
Like, okay, we will go with that.
Okay,
And
we'll go
sure
with it.
enough, over the next day to 2 days, it started to get better. However, every time I looked at the light, there was a double image.
What?
Yeah. So if I looked out the window, if I looked at a light, there was like a double image next to it. And so
Oh,
that didn't go away.
what? Till this day, right now.
It's still here. And it's like, my doctor told me, she's like, what happened is like your eye, because of the hole that is there, it's seeing it as another port. So you're taking in from both things. So basically it's like it's seeing it twice. And she said, I've only had a handful of people that had this happen, but it did go away. She said, the only thing I can't tell you when or
It's
how long
when.
it's gonna take. So I'm like,
Really? She
right.
really kind of left out some information.
Right. So
You
it's
could have
like,
told me all of this so I could at least not be freaked out.
so it's like it's been a year now and it still hasn't gone away.
Oh, is it getting a
Still
little
hasn't gone
better
away.
though?
No, no, it's definitely not better. So now, not only do I have the whole double light thing, but everything now has it's gotten to a place to where it's like foggy.
Uh-uh.
So everything I'm seeing foggy now. Like if I do everything on the inverted color now, because if I'm looking at white background, black letters on a white background,
Uh-huh.
it's faded. And
Oh.
so I'm like, that's the thing that I was like trying to explain to like my kids, how, because they're used to me seeing the way I saw.
Yes.
And now it's everything is different. And I don't know, I think the way I don't know, one of the ways to explain it is like, if you ever close your eyes and just barely open them, that fogginess that you see,
Mm-hmm.
it's not really clear.
Mm-hmm. Oh
That's
wow.
that's how I'm seeing things now. It's like you close your eyes and you just barely open them, and everything's kind of like fogged over, or you can see, but it's like it's cloudy and foggy and not quite clear.
Mm-hmm. Okay. Oh man. Okay, and you were
So
saying something about another thing that changed for you because your son came home and he's like, "Mom, where are all the glasses, like the drinking glasses?" You're like, "Okay, so what had happened was."
yeah, so I found that because I have granite countertops, like white with the little black speckles and all that stuff.
Mhm.
And every time I had like a clear glass, I would come across and not see the glass on it because it blended with it. So I'm breaking
See?
glasses right and left.
Oh, that makes so much sense though. Now, I mean, when you put
Smarty Alex,
wow,
yeah, Mr. Smarty Alex, like, where's all the glasses, Mom? I'm like, you know where the glasses are, Noah. They broke.
I broke the damn glasses.
They broke. They all broke because that's what I wanted to do.
So you would just walk by and like, just like,
It's
because
like
you're
I would
thinking
just like,
nothing's on the counter.
yeah, I just sweep my hand across the counter and it's like,
Oh,
and next thing you know, there's glass everywhere. So I'm like, okay,
oh,
I got to get rid of these. Straight up, got
yeah.
to get rid of these.
Did you
So
get some
it's like,
colored glasses or something like that?
yeah, plastic,
Hey, they got some nice
plastic,
stuff.
plastic for sure. But it's like, as I'm looking at things now
Mm-hmm.
in my life, that feeling of opening, just barely cracking your eyes open, or I can also kind of attribute it to like if you had like a sheer curtain
Yes.
and you look
Okay.
through it
Yes,
and
like a veil.
everything, yeah, it's like it's fogged over. But it's like it makes it difficult to like go in and out of places now because that transition period takes
Mm-hmm.
longer. So it's like if I'm going from outside to inside like a store, everything looks dark and foggy in there, grayish and foggy now. So where before I always had that thing where it's like if I know what it looks like, I can spot it. Now it's
Mhm.
like I can go down an aisle and it's like I don't I can't see any of the stuff on there. So
Oh, okay.
so it's like that it makes browsing so unfun.
So, do you notice that it's a difference with the lighting? It does any of that matter? Like the store's lighting or anything like that?
Even when the store is like really lit, it's still if I'm coming in from outside, it's dim. And
Oh,
it's like it might lighten up just a little as as time goes on, but now it's pretty much not. So I found out that I have to use my cane now. And
yeah.
at first I was just like, I don't want to do that. I do not want to do that. Was always a symbol of blindness for me growing up. And it's like,
Yeah.
I don't want to do that. But it's like, girl, you blind.
Like, okay, so what it really is that.
It's
Yeah.
like, girl, you blind, so you got to use it. At first, I told myself, well, maybe I could just use it because it'll help other people know that there's something off. Because my kids were saying that I was like checking people and they were giving me that look like we were about to throw down. And it's like, I didn't realize it. I'd be walking and, one of my kids would like kind of move me over because it's like,
Yeah.
people are looking at me like, you were
Like, why is she not moving when I'm walking?
right, right.
We're walking like almost about to hit each other and they're not realizing.
Exactly. And it's like, I'm not moving.
Yeah.
So at first I told myself, well, it'll be better if other people know that I'm working with a deficit. I don't need it, but it'd be better if they
Yeah.
knew. And
Yes.
then I'm like, damn, girl, you need it.
Hey, it was a trip because when we went on the cruise, that was an adjustment for me
Yeah.
because you went from because we've known each
From
other
being
since junior high to for life. And so from junior high to let's say John's point, that's college, right? I
right,
was the John. And I
right,
didn't realize I was adjusting until we went on the cruise and I just adjust, and you're
right.
like, Monique,
It's
you don't have to
automatic.
do this anymore because I have the cane. I have to adjust to like, wait, what am I supposed to, wait, what?
What
I
do
didn't
I do?
realize I was doing it.
It's like,
And then
what
you're
do
like,
you
you
do?
got to pull back and let me use the cane. And I'm like, okay, what does that all mean? I
It's
don't
like, what does
get it.
that even look like?
Yeah. Yeah.
And
Yeah.
I had to learn myself. The first thing I did when I started to realize that I was really struggling is I called up and got some mobility training because I'm like, I need to learn how to use this again because
Yeah.
it's been since I was a kid that I learned, so I need to learn how to use this again. And I got some training for my computer and my phone because I said I need to learn how to use all the voiceover technology. So I'm
Yeah.
not having to strain to look at things anymore,
So
which is
after John passed away, you were able to get your stuff back.
yeah.
Jesus Christ.
Well,
What world do we live in?
I was able to get it back not because of that. I was able to get it back because Texas has this Texas workforce something 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 or other. And it's supposed to help keep you employed. Well, I already own my own business. So I just said, hey, I need help to run my business.
Oh, well, yeah.
So that allowed me to get stuff that I needed. So mobility training and, MacBook training and all that stuff
Yeah.
because they want you to stay employed. It's like
Yeah.
I'm gonna stay
Interesting.
employed because it's my
I'm
business.
keeping other people employed.
Now I have
Yeah.
people employed now.
Yeah. Now
So
you had
it's like,
mobility dude came over yesterday.
yeah. And I
What's
tell you,
the-
man, you look at people that are having issues with learning how to use the computer. Okay, now learn how to use the computer in a totally different way because you have to go and learn
Mm-mm.
all these different keystrokes
Oh my God.
to make
Oh
it
my God.
do the things it's supposed to do. And it's like we do like 2 hour sessions, and I'm like, by the end of it, my brain is just like, I can't remember anymore. I don't remember.
Wow.
But
Dang.
it's,
So like give me an example.
well, to use voiceover on your computer is to have it read things for you.
Mm-hmm.
So there's a toggle or a keystroke for everything you're supposed to do, because remember, if you can't see, you can't just look and type it in.
Oh.
So you have to go through the voiceover commands. So you have to know how to
To get to
utilize the system to get to where you need to get to on the screen so it can read it for you.
Dang, you're like Tony Stark.
Yeah, which
You're
is
Iron
not
Man in it
easy.
over there.
Not easy. It's like I'm trying to figure out how to use the computer, period.
Right,
And now
right.
you want me to use the computer in a completely different way. Now, for me, it's still good because I still have some vision. So I still like to utilize the Zoom, all the Zoom stuff,
Uh-huh.
and just spoken stuff. But I know if it goes south, I need to know how to use the voiceover. So I'm like,
Yeah.
let's go over it now before it's needed.
So do you take
So
notes?
proactive. Oh yeah, I have to.
Yeah. Yeah.
I have to. So, I wanted to make sure, because it was a huge mind thing, and I'm just so thankful that I ended up doing that life coaching certification, because this stuff that's going on in my life right now
Mm-hmm.
would have broke me before. It absolutely would have broke me before.
Yeah.
But because I went through all that and learned how to retrain my thoughts and remap the things that I'm believing and all of this stuff, I'm just
Mm-hmm.
like, okay, this is how it is. This is the way it is. But that's not defining who I am. So, what do I need to do to be successful? Whereas before, and I see it so much, it's like, this is happening to me. Why is this happening to me? And then you
Mm-hmm.
slip into this victim mode where you just fall to pieces and just
Yeah.
shut down. And I'm like, no, 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 no. What if this is happening? It's happening for a specific thing, because I'm supposed to do a specific thing with it. So how can I best utilize this to my advantage?
Advantage.
What do I have to do to make my life the way it is work for me, instead of me waiting around for somebody to do something for me? What do I need to do to make this work for me? So the first thing I thought is, you need to get trained before you need it.
Yeah.
It's
Be
like,
proactive, right?
it's like, yes, your vision has definitely changed significantly. It is not what it was before. And I used to complain about that because I'm like, why do I have to? I was in that victim mode before. Why is this happening to me? I shouldn't be in this position.
Mm-hmm.
And it's like, I lived the majority of my life like that. And now it's like, okay, this is what's happening. So what do I need to do to keep my life and be successful at it? What do I have
Yeah.
to do? I'm taking responsibility now, instead of saying this is happening to me. Now I'm taking responsibility and saying, how can I make this work for me?
Yeah. And now that you took that mindset, like you said, you went through that life coaching certification and all that stuff, are you noticing, because of the different mindset, it's opening the doors to like new equipment that you would have never really like
Yeah,
ventured out to try to use? Like you said, the phone thing that walks you through the airport and everything. It's like opens your mind to like, I have so much
it's like there are
technology
things
at my
available.
fingers, you know?
Yeah. There are things available, but it's like my mind and my heart were open to receive it. Whereas if you're in that victim mode, everything is closed off. You
Yeah.
can't you can't receive in that mode because you're in this hole and nothing can penetrate it. But when you get to that place where you open yourself up, and you get curious and say, okay, yeah, this is going on. This is a fact. Because it's like, you know, you have some people say, well, you can't just wish stuff away. No, you can't. This is a fact. This is happening.
Yes,
My
this is what it
vision
is.
has declined. That is a fact. And there are things available to help me.
Yeah.
So how can I utilize them to make it work for me?
Yeah. I'm
So
so
that's
proud
like,
of you, dude.
that's the
I'm
place I'm
so
at.
proud of you.
Thank you.
I'm so proud of the step. I'm
like,
so excited. I'm so excited because when you talk about technology, it's always growing and it's always going to be something that's growing. And I'm just like, this chick is going to be on the cutting edge of
it's
stuff
like
that's just like,
wherever it is, I'm gonna find it.
yeah. And
I have too much stuff to do.
we are saying if you are inventing something, she's there for that. If you would like to like send it to her to try it out, you know.
Exactly. You know, if you want me to beta try out your stuff,
Try it out. Yeah.
Try it out because, you know, I'm on the move looking for things that are going to make my life better.
Yeah.
And it's like, that's what I want because I have stuff to do. You know, I got stuff I want to do.
Yep.
And it's like, I realized also that, you know, yeah, you're an independent person, but you need community and you need people to help. And so it's like you have to come off of that pride and let people know I need help.
Yeah. And that's not just
hard.
And that's not just in your vision situation. That's in life in general.
Everything. That's in everything, because everybody needs help with something. And so I remember, you know, when I went after John passed, the first thing I did was go to this conference by myself because I said I need to learn how to adjust and do what I need to do. And I'm like, I'm not with anybody. I don't know how this is gonna go. And I said, I'm gonna have to make myself communicate with people and talk to strangers. And it's like, so, you know, I'm going there and I'm making my way, and my vision hadn't declined then. It was still, you know, pretty much what it was, but it was like, I'm doing this alone now. And so I had to go up to people and say, hey, I'm visually impaired. You know, can you help me find this? Can you help me find a seat? Or, hey, we're having this, what do you call it? The lunch where all the stuff is laid out.
Yeah, buffet.
Yeah.
A buffet.
It's like we had this buffet and it's like I was standing behind someone and I'm like,
I don't know what this is.
Tap her on the shoulder. And I said, hi, you know, my name is Stephanie. And I said, I'm visually impaired. Do you think you could tell me what's in the buffet when we go through? And she's like, absolutely. And she's just like, she's reading off everything and everything. But I'm like, I had to learn how to do that.
Yeah.
Because it's like, you know, you're born to think, you know, I don't want to bother people. No, I don't want to get anybody into my business, and I don't want to do that. And it's like you have to change your attitude and do what is necessary to do what you need to do. And for me, that was talking to people.
Yeah. And you talk to people, but it was just, I don't know. You weren't in the background anymore, if that's the thing. You couldn't like hide behind
Princess Diaries. I was used to being invisible.
Yeah. I kept pushing you to the front, but
with my people.
Yeah. Yeah.
And so it's like, now it's like, okay, I have to step out of this place, this comfort zone that I've been used to. I got to step out of it and become the person that I need to be. And again, that was, you know, that whole life coaching mindset training. It's like, this is where I want to be. So I have to become that person who can be in this environment.
Yeah.
I can't
and what's amazing, because God is amazing. I don't know how many times I can say that, and how he, if you are aware of it and paying attention, he prepares you for events that aren't here yet. You going through that class, you could see you didn't have the vision that you have now. So you went through the whole class. So what was that, like a year?
Yeah.
Of stuff. And then I was the John thing, the Noah thing, the Sydney thing, because with her eyes, and then that a whole certification. You're probably like, how did I remember anything? It's amazing when you're going through stuff. You don't realize how much you're remembering. And then it'll just pop out. It'll just pop. And you're just like, how did I remember that crap? I was going through so much. How do I remember? And the Lord's like, because I equipped you to do this.
In you already. Everything is already inside. Everything is already inside, but you have to, it's like you have to decide what you want. I mean, that's like the main thing that people don't get. You have to know what you want, because you can't do anything until you figure that out. And then once you figure that out, then it's a matter of, who do I have to become to live that life?
Yeah.
Who do I have to be to walk into that space and have it fit me?
Yeah. And then you attract to you who you are at that new point.
Yeah.
But
I can't go into that new place in the old place.
Yes.
I can't go backwards to that place with that old mindset, the way I thought before. I can't go into this independent, successful person if I'm still in this place of feeling like I don't belong.
Yeah.
I'm like trying to be one of them. It's like, I didn't need to be one of them. I could be fine who I was with bad vision.
And you know what?
Good vision doesn't make you better. It's
what I thought about was like, we have always done that since the beginning. So like, even like, let's go back to high school when we sat down and we were chilling at your house, and we were like, okay, let's make our goals out. We didn't know what goals were. We were just like, we need to just do. Yeah, we're like, let's just write down what we want our, like, this year, our school year to be like, and like the things that we want to accomplish, right? Yeah. And we wrote it down. It was like 2 pages.
We would have a Letterman's jacket.
Yeah, Letterman's jacket, letter, CIF, all these different things, right? We wrote them down. So to get there, we weren't there at that time. Yeah. We had to prepare ourselves.
What do we have to do to be somebody who can get that Letterman's jacket?
To get that Letterman's jacket. So that doesn't mean, that means, oh yeah, I can go to practice with everybody, but they don't think about the times that we were out on that field and there was nobody.
There was no practice.
We're practicing on the weekends. We're running on the weekends. We're throwing on the weekends. We're doing all this stuff to create a champion.
Yep.
So that you can let her. And then
I got to be able to do that. Like, it's like, what do I have to do to be able to throw this discus?
Yes.
I'm blind and 104 pounds.
And we were in that weight room when nobody was in there.
Way bigger than me. So what do I have to do? I got to get in here and do these weights.
Yeah.
So it's like, if I want to be able to travel, if I want to be able to run a successful business, if I want to be able to enjoy my life, then what do I have to do so that this vision loss is not a hindrance? It's going to be a challenge. It's already a challenge. See, that's the thing, people think in order for something to be right and good, there has to be no obstacles, no challenges, but that doesn't
exist.
That doesn't exist. There's always going to be a challenge. There's always going to be an obstacle, and there's always going to be a way around it.
Yeah.
Period. There's always going to be a way around it. So you have to be in that mindset of, what do I have to do to overcome that obstacle and get around it?
Yeah.
So for me, it's like, okay, I need to find some resources. So I got on Google and I'm like, what resources are out here for low and no vision people? And I found the Aira app and the Be My Eyes app. And I'm like, okay, let me try that out.
Yeah.
That was like one of the best things I could have got, because
That's
it's
the
like,
coolest thing I
if
ever
I
heard of my
don't have
life.
somebody, I have somebody.
Yeah. All the time.
Now it's like, what do we do? And it's like, I'm probably gonna find a way to get more into that political realm now, because I need it. But it's like, what do we do now to take that app that you have to buy minutes on? What do I have to do to get it to an unlimited number? What do I have to do to get Uber and Lyft to an unlimited level, to
Where
where
you
I
just pay
don't
a
have
monthly fee?
right, to where I don't have to pay for every ride? Can I pay a monthly fee? Can I pay a yearly fee to where I can use it at will because I can't drive?
Boom. Oh,
That's
man.
what that's the
That's
next
awesome.
phase. That's the next phase of where I need to get to. It's like, okay, I'm finding the resources now, but what can I do to make it more accessible?
Yeah. Ooh. I like that.
That
I'm sure the world would like that too. They're like, we'll take the package. Hey, if Amazon can do it, where you know what I'm saying? They do it with the little,
is like, why not?
Why not?
Because, there are a lot of people who cannot drive. Not, I don't want to drive. There's a lot
Right.
of people out there, oh no, I'm afraid to drive. I don't want to drive. No, there's a lot of people who cannot drive. So because you cannot drive, do you need to be on some bus for 12 hours to get to the same destination that you could get to in 10 minutes in a car? I
Oh
don't think
my
so.
God.
It's like,
Yeah.
there's got to be a better way to work that.
Yeah. That's awesome. I like
Yeah,
that idea.
I could ride the access line for free, but it's like, to go down the street to where I want to go, I got to go to 12 different other stops. Why should I have to do that?
No.
Why should I have to do that? I should
Wow.
be able to go to where I want to go, just like everybody else.
Just like everybody else.
So it's like, how can we make that work?
Oh, okay.
That's
Yeah.
that's Steph's eyeballs in a nutshell, and how I'm dealing with it.
Well, thanks for sharing that, because that when you talked about that you watched that on YouTube or the special or whatever on that guy.
Thank you, because people
That was good.
they really don't understand. And the obvious question is, well, what can you see? I mean, I remember I was in New Orleans and I was talking to somebody, and normally with people I know their voices, so it's like I don't have to see them to know them because I already have their voice down. And I was talking to a lady that I didn't quite have her voice down, and we were sitting down talking. She was sitting in a chair. I was literally standing in front of her, but it was in a hotel, so it was dark. I couldn't see her. I could see her, but I couldn't
not
see
her.
her.
Yeah.
So I'm talking to her. I'm carrying on a conversation. We're laughing, da 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 da. And then we get ready to get up, and it dawned on me, I don't even know who I'm talking to. And I said, I'm sorry. I said, but who am I talking to again? And she said, it's so and so. You didn't know that? And I said, no, I don't have your voice down yet. And she's like, wait, you can't see me? And I said, no, I cannot. And she was floored.
Wow.
Because she didn't know.
Yeah.
So,
wow.
That's part of my new thing now. It's like, you need to let people know. You need to let people know what you need, where you are, what you're doing, blah, 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 blah. It just makes things easier.
Yeah. I think the traveling helps you.
Yeah. Because,
you have to actually use it.
You have to use it. Because I used to have people at my church and all over the place, but it was like, at my church a lot. People would think that I was like really mean.
Oh, dude, because they didn't know.
And it's like, anybody that knows me knows I am
So
like,
they're like, "Hey, Steph, what's up?"
I
And you're
am
like, "I don't
so
see you."
not mean, but it's like, they're waving and I'm not paying
Oh,
them any attention. I'm ignoring. So they think I'm ignoring. And it's like they have no clue that it's like, I didn't see you. And I
wow.
get that all the time because, when you move around confidently, people are used to, they're used to seeing people who can't see, move very slowly, move very
Mm-hmm.
methodically. And I don't move like that.
Yeah.
I move
Yeah.
fast. I move fast and I get where I need to go. So people automatically assume I can see and I can't.
Wow.
So it's like they're waving at me, they're giving me the signals and all the stuff. And it's like, I'm not catching any of it. And so I've had so many people say, oh yeah, they don't like you. I'm like, why? And it's like people would tell my kids and they would tell them, oh, my mom she's blind. She didn't see you. And they're like, really? I didn't know.
Wow.
But it's like,
Wow.
I am such a nice person.
You are, Steph.
Such a nice person, but I have a bad reputation with people.
He would wave if he saw you.
They're afraid of me because they think I'm mean.
Oh no, she's not mean, y'all.
No, I'm not. It's like just I say something.
Yeah. Come on up.
So it's like when
Come
I
on
tell
up.
people when I find out what people are saying, I'm like, no, you need to let me know when you're around. Say, hey, Steph, it's so and so. And it's like, okay, but it's like you can't throw me the signal. Throw me the signal because it's like I'm gonna be just a straight face, and then that's when they're gonna think, oh, she's straight up ignoring me. She
ignored me in my face.
Even here. She's gonna act like I'm not even here. Like,
oh man,
you're not though.
Yeah. Gosh.
You're totally not here.
Wow, Steph. Hey, like I said, I'm proud of you, and this was brave to do this podcast today. This is brave.
I'm like, I think it should be done. I think it should be done. I think it should be done.
Yeah.
So yeah, hopefully that helps out a little bit.
Okay. Well, now that we did this, we need to start like looking into sponsors because hey, that's the next step.
Give me your stuff to try. Give me your stuff.
Yeah, let's get some sponsors. Let's start, going in that avenue.
Some of the things that I use now, I use Aira Explorer. I use Be My Eyes. I use Speechify because that's
Speechify.
Speechify. It reads documents for you.
Oh.
Yeah, those are like the main 3 that I use right now.
Okay. You hear that, world? You hear that?
Aira Explorer. Aira Explorer is a paid app, and it has it uses your phone, or it also uses AI smart glasses. And there's a live agent who is trained to work with low and no vision people, and they will read things for you, pick things out for you. Or they're connected with Lyft, so they will. Okay, this was big because not growing up in the age of you're not supposed to take rides from strangers.
Right.
Now we gotta do that. So, and not being able to see, that's a big thing because you're like, how do I know if I'm getting in the right car, right?
Yeah.
So they're attached to Lyft, and so your Aira agent will call a Lyft for you. They will actually stay on the phone with you. Make sure you get into the right vehicle.
Right car. Yeah.
This is your driver.
He's got the right license plate,
and this is him pulling up right here. I love that.
That's what we used when we were getting off the boat.
That's right.
The boat, the ship.
I called them
to go to the airport. Yeah.
They're like, here's your ride. He's pulling up right now in the such and such a color car. This is him right in front of you.
Yeah.
And I'm like,
I was like, this is tight.
Because it's like, that was like major anxiety for me ordering Ubers and Lyfts. Cause I'm like, how do I know this is the right car? I'm going to end up as a skin suit somewhere.
Oh no.
I'm going to end up in somebody's skin suit. So Aira Explorer is hooked up with Lyft, and you know, they have a live person on there. They will help you. And that is a paid subscription. Be My Eyes does the same thing, but that's a volunteer app, and you know, they are there. You know, they have volunteers to help you with stuff, you know, if you need something free. And then Speechify is a doc reader. It'll read books for you, documents, labels, signs, all kinds of things.
So you use that in the store?
I do.
Okay.
All right. So yeah, those are the main things I use right now.
Oh.
So looking for more goodies.
Yes. Well, thank you, Steffi, for
Thank
letting
you.
us into your world.
Thank you. Thank you so much for being a part of my world. And thank you for being such an amazing set of eyeballs for me over the years.
Oh, I'm still here for you.
Monique was dragging me along, and I'm like, that's not how we do it, girl.
Hey, I had to learn. I didn't know.
I have to hold your elbow so you can be in the front.
Yeah, that was new.
But it's good though.
Yeah.
It's good.
Well, thank you all for joining us at the beach house for this deep conversation.
Yes, make sure to like, make sure to subscribe, make sure to share.
Yes, and we're on different platforms, so jump on those too.
Yes.
Just in case you can't watch, you can just listen on some
and I'll put the links for the apps also in the description as well.
Yes. And my eyes are running because allergies.
Because she's out in the woods.
I'm out in the backyard woods.
She's out in the woods.
The backyard office.
So we got a cool guest coming up next week. So that's going to be exciting too. The next couple of weeks. So that's going to be exciting. So make sure to tune in and join us at the beach house.
Yes. And then we'll jump back into the one series we were on after that.
Yes.
All right, guys. We love you. Join us next week on The Beach House.